Recording episode 26 of Rocco on the Rocks. Action. Cue the music. What's up, rock stars? Welcome back to another episode of Rocco on the Rocks. On today's episode, it's just going to be me, your host, chatting with you guys. I've had a lot going on, so I've decided I'm going to share some stories with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys about my time at the VMAs, the Emmys, and I recently also just went to see a live taping of SNL, hence the shirt. So I have a lot to talk about, a lot to share. Really excited to dive into it all with everyone, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. On today's menu of Scrump or Dump, I'm going to keep it simple today. We are going to be making a tequila on the rocks with a twist. For the tequila we're using today, we're using 8 Reserve by 818. Now, this is an añejo tequila that we are going to be using. We're going to have it on the rocks, so I'm going to put some ice in my glass, and then I'm going to peel a little skin of the lemon to give it a little twist. I figured we'd keep it simple today, keep it classic. Also, I realized that throughout all my episodes, I have yet to have a drink that is on the rocks. So today is the day we are going to be doing it. Okay, so I'm just going in with the 8 Reserve. She smells good. I think that's enough. Look at that coloring. I mean, in all honesty, I just think it looks beautiful. I love the color of an añejo tequila. Okay, let's peel the skin of this lemon. Can we do it? No, we can't. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Okay, okay. Hey. All right, this is what we're working with. I wish I had one of the skewers to twist it and stick it right in. Do I have a toothpick? Would that make my drink look ugly if I put it in a toothpick? Would it give cheap? Because we're a little fancy. Whatever. I'm just gonna throw it in there. Oh, that looks so sad. Aww. That's fine, whatever. Anyway, here's our drink. Cheers, rock stars. Honestly, this right here is a Scrump, and here's why. It goes down very smooth. You can definitely tell this is something you want to sip on, savory. That lemon peel that I just put in, even though it's extremely small, it does add a little something to the tequila itself, and I think it pairs very nicely together. So this is a Scrump in my book. A nice classic Rocco on the Rocks here. It's beautiful. All right, I'm going to get into my spot, and I'm going to start updating you all on what's been going on in my life. Okay, where do I even begin? A couple months ago, September 11th actually, I got asked to work the VMAs, which was an amazing experience for me. I mean, for those of you who know, prior to what I do currently for work, I used to be an event planner, so the last event I got to do, I've made an episode about it. I got to go to the Tony Awards, and that alone was a dream come true. Now, recently, I just got asked to work the VMAs, and this was really an amazing experience that I am so forever grateful for. Working this and also being able to work the Emmys, truly, truly amazing. Before I even get into it, I just want to give a shout out to Dana. If you ever watch this, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And Kev, thank you so much for setting me up with Dana. I really appreciate it, because without you, this wouldn't have happened. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of that. So let's discuss the VMAs. I probably will repeat myself a lot throughout this episode, going over and over and over again about how amazing this night was. And I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but it truly was. I mean, this is just something I've always dreamed of. So the fact that it happened, I'll say it until I'm blue in the face, I'm forever grateful. This really just has made my year, honestly. A lot of good has happened to me in this year, a lot of bad, and this was one of the things that has been a highlight. So I'm really, really honored that I got to do it. For the VMAs, they were held this year, UBS Arena on September 11th, and I've never been to the UBS Arena before, so I was excited to see a new arena. The day prior, I slept at my friend Sab's house. Shout out to Sab. Thank you for letting me bum it on your couch so that I had an easier commute to getting to the UBS Arena that's in Queens from you on Long Island versus me commuting from where I live in Jersey. So thank you, Sab. She's the best. Let me sleep on her couch. So basically, I drove to her house Tuesday night, brought my suit, brought black pants and a black button down. So I was looking a little professional, you know, I wanted to look a little sleek, kind of looked like security, but I was here for it. I had my own little walkie, a headpiece, like, let me tell you, I could have been the Secret Service. I was looking so good. Really felt empowered having the walkie and everything and the little mic. So it was great. I brought a clipboard, I brought a flashlight, and I brought a highlighter. And I brought these things because my position working at the VMAs, I was a part of the talent logistics team. So my role basically was to bring talent as they came into the arena to their seat. And by talent, I do mean, you know, celebrities, artists, you name it. Like, I didn't know who I was going to be handling until the day of. So, but anyway, I drive to the arena from Sab's house. I wake up early. I have to get there around 11, but I made sure I got there, honestly, around like 10 o'clock, 10:30, just because A, I was worried about traffic. B, I've never worked an event like this before. So I wanted to make sure I was there early so I could get the lay of the land, everything, figure out where I needed to go. I got my badge to allow me access into the arena and everything, parked my car, did all the things I had to do, and then it was time for me to walk and find out where the town logistics office was. And I'm walking around, and at one point I honestly went up to every table that I saw because I had no idea where I was going. And I went up to a dancer's table at one point. They're like, "Oh, are you a dancer?" I was like, "Nope, I am definitely not a dancer for any of these acts tonight, but I wish I was. That would definitely be cool." But unfortunately, no. I'd be like, "Hi, can I'm looking for the talent logistics team. Can you point me into that direction?" And, you know, everyone would be like, "Oh yeah, go here, go here." Everyone pretty much knew where to go. And if they didn't, they were like, "No idea, but if you keep walking around, you'll get to the front." And I'm like, "Perfect, I'll just go there." So whatever, I finally made my way around, walk inside, find the talent logistics office, and the section in which the office was and the other offices for, you know, other teams that were working the event is when you watch, you know, any concert and they like go backstage and you see them throughout their arenas and like all the tunnels and stuff. That's kind of where we were. And it was just really cool to see because, you know, when you walk into an arena, you never really get to see the backstage of everything. So I'm seeing everything live and in person, and it's just like, I'm in awe of what I'm seeing. Find my team, get ready. I get my paper to see who's on my list. I look through it, I skim it. I'm like, okay, I have really good people here. I have, you know, Katy Perry's here, Paris Hilton, Tate McRae. I'm like, okay, this is really good. This is really good. Like, I have a good group. Finally, it's dress rehearsal and we go out and I basically learn what I'm going to be doing. And they tell us that when they come, you show them to their seats. And when they get up from their seats, I'm utilizing seat fillers to fill it because when the camera pans at any point in the show to certain seats, you need to make sure that the seats are filled. So on top of bringing talent to their seats, when they leave, I have to make sure I fill their seats because not everyone really stays in their seats. People are getting up to go announce awards or people are getting up to go perform. So it's kind of making sure that it's a constant flow of just, you know, filling the seats and making sure that the audience looks full. So kind of crazy because when you watch it on TV, you think, you know, it's packed. It's a packed arena. It looks sold out. I mean, it is, but in reality, the way we make it look like that is because we're constantly moving people around to fill the seats for when the camera pans to certain sections of the audience. And it's even crazier because I finally got to see the stage for the first time. I've never seen, you know, the VMA stage before, and it always looks ginormous on TV. I mean, all these stages look huge. And honestly, when I was looking at it, I'm like, wow, it kind of looks small. Like when you're in person, it looks small, and it's crazy how they make this huge moon man and everything. I mean, if you guys watched it, you saw it was insane. It was a beautiful stage. The way the camera captures it, it honestly just encompasses everything and makes it all look so much smaller so that the entire arena looks huge. And it was really cool. I sat through dress rehearsal, and wherever talent was sitting, they had place cards with their face and their name on it as well, so that you could see where certain people were sitting throughout the show, so that, you know, whatever section you were working, you can easily grab them or go to them, or when they do come down, you can bring them to their seat easily, right? So I'm looking at my section, I'm talking to the people I'm gonna be working with, whatever, chatting. I look up, and then in the corner of my eye, I see Snooki, JWoww, Mike the Situation. I have the entire Jersey Shore cast in my section. I immediately start freaking out. I'm like talking to the people that are on my team working with me, and I'm like, oh my God, guys, like, I'm gonna be sitting down the Jersey Shore. Like, this is crazy. And they're like, okay. I'm like, no. Like, I get to talk to Snooki. You guys don't understand how crazy that is. Like, I get to talk to JWoww and Mike. Like, we're gonna be in the same room together. They're like, yeah. I didn't even care about the rest of the people on my list. Like Tate McRae, Katy Perry. Like, love them. Paris, love. The moment I saw Snooki's place card, it was over. It was over. I was meeting the queen. It literally was the best experience of my life. So I'm freaking out. Everyone kind of thinks it's so funny that like I'm fangirling over these people, but if you know, you know. Like, I just love them. I really do. I think they're funny. I think their show was pure reality TV. Like, it just really was the good stuff. And for me to actually get to talk to them, even more insane. Or everyone I'm working with thinks I'm crazy because I'm freaking out so much, but whatever. It was gonna bring me joy, so I couldn't wait for, the actual show to start. So we watched all of dress rehearsal. Super cool. Megan Thee Stallion was the host. She did an amazing job. Got to chat with her. She was so sweet. I got to talk to Orlando Bloom while Katy Perry was performing. That was amazing. So you really get to see the whole dress rehearsal, and it's very cool because you watch the entire show prior. So I watched all of the performances and the awards given. Super cool. Loved that. And now it's time for showtime. So the Jersey Shore is coming my way, and I don't know what to do. And this is the first time I truly have, like, I'm going to be in the presence of celebrities. I have in the past, like at the Tony Awards, but I said it in my other episode, like, I was very afraid to go up to them. I mean, everyone says they're just people. Yes, they are. But when you're in that atmosphere, you just like don't know how to act. I mean, at least I didn't the first time around. And I wish I had the courage to go up to them and talk to them, but I didn't at the Tonys. So now that I know what I have to do, I'm like, it's game on. Like, I have to talk to them. I have to do everything I can to like be their best friend tonight. I don't care what it takes. Like, I'm at least saying hello, welcome, and like if that's it, that's it. Like, I don't. So I'm monitoring my area, and I see coming down, it's Lauren and Mike. I'm like, oh my God, okay, game time, let's go. They come downstairs. I'm like, hi, Lauren. It's so nice to see you tonight. Hi, Mike. It's so good to see you. Let me show you guys to your seat. They're like, oh, hello. I'm like, yes, my name is Rocco. Blah, 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 blah. We get to talking. And then Mike asks me, he was asking where they can go grab food. Told them where they could go. I mean, I was on it. I was like, oh, you could go grab food here, all this stuff. And he had informed me that JWoww wasn't coming. And I was so upset. I was like, oh no. JWoww's not coming? And he was like, no, she's not. I was like, oh my God, that's heartbreaking. And so because of that, I'm kind of glad he told me, because then I had a walkie to those who were controlling the seating charts and was like, hey, just letting you know, JWoww's not coming, unfortunately. So I'm going to move Mike over to her seat, and he will be next to Snooki and her guest when they arrive, and I will fill in a seat between him and Angelina when she comes. So Mike and Lauren then leave. They go grab food to where I told them they could go, and I'm waiting there, and other people are coming in. I'm showing them to their seats. So time passes. Mike and Lauren come back. They sit down, and then one of the people I was working with had come up to me. My back was facing to them. She goes, I just want to let you know, Snooki's behind you. And I was like, oh my God, here we go. Like, the time is now. I immediately turn around, lock eyes with Snooki, and I go, Nicole, it's so nice to meet you. My name's Rocco. I'm going to be showing you to your seat. Immediately, she's like, oh, thank you so much, blah, 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 blah. And she brought Joey, her friend. So I introduce myself to Joey. I bring them to their seats. They sit down. And Snooki is just being Snooki. She's literally perfect. She's taking selfies with the cast. And I was like, do you want me to take your guys' photo? Like, I could totally take the photo for you. Oh, sure, if you don't mind, that'd be great. I'm like, nope, I will literally do anything for you right now. I will do anything for you because this is the biggest moment of my life. Take their photo, and then I'm chatting with them a little bit, and Suki's like, do you know where I could get a drink? I'm like, yeah, so there's a bar back there, and a few other sections down there were waiters, and I was like, let me see if I can get one of them to come up and get you a drink. And she's like, oh my God, that would be great. And I'm like, I gotta make the queen happy. I have to go. I go down there, I grab them. I'm like, hi, can you bring Snooki a drink, please? And he was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. Duh. He goes right up, he asks her what she wants, gives her a drink, and then goes on his merry way, comes back and gets her drink. And as I like walk back up the stairs and pass her, she was like, oh, thanks so much, girl. I was like, you're welcome. You are welcome. I'm like, oh my God, I'm done. I'm actually done working now. This is great. This was amazing. So after that, honestly, the rest of the show was amazing. the show starts, it's showtime. I also met a lot of the queens from RuPaul's Drag Race, sat them all down, was moving their seats around from time to time because of, seat fillers and stuff. So moving them either further down or back to where they were sitting. So it really was just like working the crowd the entire time of my job. And it was pretty cool. I mean, sometimes it got to be a little challenging once commercial would hit, because that's when everyone's moving around, is when it's commercial break. And during that time, besides handling the talent when they're leaving, you're also handling the seat fillers. And there's a lot of seat fillers. So sometimes when there's extras, you have to just like shove them away and be like, you gotta go, you gotta move, because camera's gonna start and you cannot be in the shot. And I have to run to a certain spot because I can't be in the shot either. So there's like a lot that goes into it. And like the production of the show is just crazy. So I'm really happy I got to see that aspect of it all. After I talked to Stinky, I got to meet Tate McRae, chat with her a little bit. I mentioned Katie and Paris as well. I mean, those are just like the top names. So really just a monumental moment. And also meeting the queens from RuPaul's Drag Race as well, made friends with them. I knew Christina would be dying on the inside if she was there, so I told her immediately that I got to meet them, and I was like, my sister would be rolling on the floor right now knowing that I'm talking to you guys. Like, this is crazy. So I had to let her know, I'm like, just letting you know I met your idols, so you're welcome. And I told them that you love them. So wonderful. It really was just the best. That was the VMAs. Once the show was over, you meet up with the team again, talk about everything, how it all went and stuff. And it was a very successful night for my first go around. Now we're moving on to the Emmys. This I was beyond excited about. I mean, I've always dreamt about, I grew up watching the Emmys and all the red carpets for the major award shows with my sister, watching E! And Giulianna Rancic and Ryan Seacrest host the carpet, and watching Fashion Police and going over all the outfits. So to be at the Emmys, like the VMAs was super surreal, but this was like an outer body experience for me because I've always dreamt of being there. And the fact that I finally was just absolutely insane. So for the Emmys, pretty much the same thing. It was held at the Peacock Theater in downtown LA, and I was also on the talent logistics team as well, but this time I was doing the flow team. So I was actually not only bringing people to their seats, I was pulling people from their seats as well and bringing them to wherever they needed to be. For if they were going to present an award, bring them backstage. If they had to go to the press room, bring them there, bring them to the holding room, wherever they needed to be. I was their guide and helping them out during commercial breaks. So again, I show up to the Peacock Theater. I'm in LA. I'm also in LA for work anyway, so I was able to make this event work in my favor and also be able to work it besides what I was already there for. And the award shows in LA actually start a lot earlier than they do here on the East Coast, because they're actually from 5 to 8 on the West Coast. And then here, with the time difference, they're a lot later. They're usually 8 to 10. So because the Emmys ended at 8 o'clock, my day started at 8. These are like 12-hour days that you're working. So I show up super early to the Peacock Theater. I get there at 8. I find out where I need to be. This theater was a lot easier to maneuver and work around. It was not as big as the UBS Arena, and it was easy for me to get in, get out. Security helped me get to where I needed to be. I got checked in. I got my picture taken, everything that I needed to do. And I was ready to start the day. It's the same process. You get there, you get your chart of who you're working with, and you sit through dress rehearsal. You walk around the theater to see where their place cards are so that you also have the seating chart in front of you, but just so that practice during commercial break, grabbing them, bring them wherever they need to be, pretending. And then, once showtime starts, it's time for you to do your job. Now, let me tell you, when I got my list of people, I was floored, speechless, jaw dropped, had no words. I couldn't believe who I was going to be handling, and it just made everything even more exciting for me. First person I have to handle, Jonathan Bailey. No way. He plays Anthony in Bridgerton. He plays Fiyero in the Wicked movie. He's done so many other things. He was in Company on Broadway. This was probably the craziest thing ever. And the fact that he was the first person I was interacting with, I couldn't believe it. And then the list goes on. After him, I get to work with Selena Gomez and pull her from her seat. And then I also get to meet Bo and Yang. So now when it's showtime, I'm on the red carpet. I'm waiting for Jonathan to come because I'm his person to bring him to his seat. He's the only person I'm sitting down. Other than that, once I bring him to his seat and the show starts, like I'm pulling people from their seats. So he's the only person I'm sitting. And I'm waiting. And as I'm waiting, like so many celebrities are leaving the carpet and I'm like, they're all passing me by and I can't even process like the people that I'm seeing as they're walking through. Like each person I'm just like, oh my God, it's this person, this person. Like I definitely, like you could tell that I was so excited. I'm trying so hard on the inside to keep like my composure, but like I knew I wasn't going to be handling anyone yet, so I was like, it's fine if I freak out a little bit, like it's okay, I'm not gonna care. And my team is like laughing because they're like, wow, you're like really excited. I'm like, no, I'm excited, I'm nervous, like this is insane, like this is something I've always dreamed of, like holy shit. So everyone's walking by, I'm just like, oh my gosh, in awe of everyone. And then actually it's really funny because like RuPaul's drag queens again are on the red carpet and they passed me by and they remembered me from the VMAs. Plasma actually came up to me and was like, oh my God, you were at the VMAs, you're Rocco, right? I'm like, yes, that's me. She's like, oh, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being so nice that day. Like you were such a pleasure to work with. I was like, no. Thank you. You guys were a pleasure to work with. Like by all means, I'm just doing my job. Like, thank you so much. Getting the satisfaction, like, whew, my God, that was insane. I was not expecting that. That was so nice. Like, I was like, holy shit, I have to tell my sister. I said to her, I was like, I'm going to have to tell my sister everything you just said to me. I wish I took out my phone to record it because that's literally going to make her die on the inside. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. The queens move on. I'm still waiting for Jonathan. I'm waiting. And I finally spot him. As a group of people walk out and I spot him in the back. I beeline it to him. I mean, I definitely am like a lot in this moment because I'm just like really excited. So I beeline it to him. I'm like, Jonathan, hi. I'm Rocco. It's so nice to meet you. I'm going to be bringing you to your seat. And he's like, oh my God. Like I would totally do a British accent, but it's absolutely terrible. So I'm not going to make a fool of myself in this moment. But he goes, oh my God, I was wondering who was going to bring me to my seat. So thank you so much for finding me. I'm like, no. Yeah, no worries. I'm here. We're good. We're ready to go whenever you are. So we can head on inside. I bring him inside. He introduces me to the people he's with, his publicist and his manager. But he also didn't introduce his manager as his manager because later when I was bringing him to his seat, we were waiting for her at one point because we were in the lobby of the theater for a little bit because he was waiting for his family. And he actually ends up introducing me to his entire family that came to the Emmys. When I tell you that he is the nicest person in the world, I mean, he is truly, truly the sweetest man. So nice, like everyone was coming up to him. He went up to everyone. It's just so nice to see because you always hear people say like, oh, people are so mean, like celebrities suck. But sometimes, you hear the stories about them being so sweet and so kind and just so human. And he truly was just the nicest person I had met that day. And I was like, wow, like, thank you for being you, truly. So I meet his whole family, his aunts, his cousins, whoever was there. And I'm just like, wow, hi everyone. Hey, I'm Rocco. I'm going to be bringing him to a seat. That's my job. I'm taking him over there. And I'm just like ecstatic. I'm like, oh my God, like this is literally crazy. And they all have accents. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love the way you speak. I really do. Like you guys are just amazing. Anyway, after he introduces me to his fam, I'm on like a time crunch to get him to his seat. And I'm like, Jonathan, like, I really hate to break the party, but I do have to bring you to your seat for top of show. Otherwise my head's on the chopping block. And he's like, no worries. Like we could totally go. I'm like, okay, great. And we were then he goes, we just have to wait for, he said her name and I forgot it, which is terrible of me. But he was like, we just have to wait for, so-and-so. And I'm like, oh, is that your mom? He calls her by her first name. And I go, is that your mom? And he goes, no, that's my manager. I'm like, oh, okay, awkward. But yeah, sure, no worries. We can wait for her. Finally, she meets up with us. I bring them to their seat. I have them sit down. I'm like, Jonathan, it was a pleasure meeting you today. I'll probably be seeing you throughout the show, but I just wanted to say thank you so much. You're truly a delight. Oh my God, of course. I like walk out of that theater. I'm like, oh my God, that was crazy. That was literally insane. Now, the next person I have to bring to their seat. Actually, I lied. I brought 2 people to their seats. The next person I have to bring to their seat is Selena Gomez after she presents an award on stage. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna meet Alex Russo. This is insane. The wizard of the family, holy shit. I go backstage, I introduce myself, everything. I bring her to the seat when, commercial hits, and then that was that. My interaction with her was super brief. Like Jonathan, I had more time to talk to. Hers, it was brief. And then I'm on to the next. So as I wait to go grab my next person, I look at my list. It's Bowen Yang. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to meet so many cool people tonight. Go out there. And those of you who don't know Bowen Yang, he is on SNL. He's an SNL cast member. So go out there. I grab Bowen. We get to chit-chatting a little bit. I'm asking him how his night's doing because I have to bring him now to wherever he needs to be. And I'm like chit-chatting with him. I'm like, Bowen, it's so nice to meet you. We're talking. It's just amazing. It really is just amazing. We're like, going back and forth, the 2 of us. I'm like, how's it going tonight? Are you excited? Like, this is so crazy. It was great. And in the midst of me bringing him to where he needed to be, I also meet Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph, and I'm just like, oh my god, all these SNL cast members, like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Send them on their merry way. My next person I have to get is Taylor Zakar Perez. Let me tell you, he was also one of the nicest people that night. Like, honestly, everyone I was bringing to wherever they needed to be or who was on my list was truly, truly very sweet to me. And Taylor was just one of them who really was so nice because we were talking, whatever. And at one point in our conversation, he called me Marco. And I was like, oh no. And then he corrected himself before I even could. And he was like, I'm so sorry. That was not the name you told. That was not the name you said. What was your name again? I'm like, oh, it's Rocco. But you were close. So no worries. Like, I'll take it, Taylor. I will totally take it. It's fine. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for that. And I was like, no, you're good. You are good. Do not worry. But like I said, he was just so nice. He was super cool and he's super tall. I was like, damn, I wish I had your height. And he was dressed very, very nice, I must say. Everyone was. They all had amazing looks that night, the celebrities. But I really liked his and I really wish I had his height. And I was like, damn, if only I was tall. But I will say being in that atmosphere kind of gave me a little bit of hope because not everyone is as tall as you think they are on TV, okay? I am 5'6". I will admit that here. I am 5'6", and everyone was pretty much my height or like an inch taller than me. So I was feeling pretty good about myself. So then after Taylor, the list just keeps going on and on and on. I had to grab Jane Lynch, and then I also had to talk to Jimmy Kimmel, who was so funny and nice. And actually it was funny when I was bringing him because he was like, I feel like I'm gonna lose you very easily because I'm just gonna get pulled by people as we walk through the crowd. I'm like, yeah, no worries. He's like, so you lead the way, I'm gonna hold on to your shoulders, and we're gonna make a conga line here. I'm like, okay. So me and Jimmy Kimmel are literally walking through crowds of people as I'm like bringing him to where he needs to be, and he's like holding on to my shoulders. I'm like, excuse me. It was so funny. I got to say hello to Meryl Streep. Like, talk about a queen. Snooki is a queen, yes, but Meryl Streep is the queen. So excited I got to just say hi. I didn't really talk to her. I just said hello. Catherine O'Hara. So happy I got to be in the presence of her and say hello. The list is on and on of the people I met and truly just the interactions I had. It was amazing. Jeremy Allen White, I got to congratulate him after he won his Emmy, and he was so chill about it. Like, you honestly didn't even think he won an Emmy. He was like, yeah, this is honestly pretty cool. Like, I can't believe that, he was so chill about it. I would be like crying, and he was just like, wow, like, I can't believe I did this. I'm like, good for you. You deserve it. You deserve all your accomplishments because you are just so nice. This night for me was truly, truly everything I hoped and dreamed it would be. I just loved every second of it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I honestly felt like I was at home because, like I said, I grew up watching the red carpet for all of these events and watching these events after the red carpets would air and just sitting there thinking like, wow, one day I want to be here. I want to be on that stage. And I finally got to be in the presence of that. It's crazy. It's crazy that I got this experience. And I'm just so forever grateful for it, truly. And it also kind of helped me envision more what I want this show to be. After working the VMAs, after working the Emmys, I kind of realized that, I believe I said it in my first episode before, but I've always seen myself as kind of like the next Ryan Seacrest. If I were to compare myself to anyone, I mean, I don't like to do that because you shouldn't compare yourself to anyone. You should always be your best self. But in terms of like career and goals and aspirations of what I've seen myself becoming is somewhat of Ryan Seacrest in terms of just being a host on the red carpet and, you know, having a talk show. I mean, he has this radio show he used to do Live with Kelly and Ryan. And, you know, growing up, I just watched him always on the red carpet with Giulianna Rancic. So he's just one of my idols. And after working these events, I've kind of realized what I want this show to be. And I want Rocco on the Rocks to be on the red carpet one day. I would love to have like a little bar situation set up, and I would offer both a cocktail and a mocktail with whatever spirit company I am able to partner with that is going to create a signature drink for the night. And if it's not a spirit, if it's a beer, I will have a, you know, alcoholic and non-alcoholic beer. And if it's a wine company, I am sure they make alcoholic and non-alcoholic wine. And because I want to be able to cater to everyone. I know not everyone drinks. I know people have a history with drinking and have gone to rehab to recover and such. So I want to be mindful of that. And that's why I would offer both an alcoholic and non-alcoholic version of whatever drink I am offering or whatever company sponsors me to have my segment on the red carpet. So then how it would work, I would make the signature drink of the night first with whoever is the first celebrity that comes to the bar, and we try it together, and then we rate it a scrump or dump. And pretty much from there, I ask them a couple other questions, like how excited they are for tonight, who they're wearing, stuff like that, what projects are they working on next, get into some friendly banter, and then send them on their merry way. And also, I think this would be a perfect idea, only because since I was able to work the Emmys, all the celebrities were like, where's water? Where can I get water? Where can I get water? Because once they come from the red carpet and they go inside, like there's lines at the concession stands for people that are already getting water, snacks, drinks, or whatever. So they have to wait in line, and, you know, they have to be at their seat by a certain time. So they can't really wait there forever. And I think this would be perfect because it's like, hi, you want a drink? Here you go. Here's your drink. And you can head on inside and you already have a beverage, hydration, whatever you need. I'll literally hand them the cocktail and a water to be like, here you guys go. Be on your merry way. I think this would be absolutely perfect. I think it's a great idea. After working this event, I have now envisioned that being the ultimate goal of the show. I want Rocco on the Rocks to be on the red carpet. Like I said, celebrities come up to me, we make the signature drink of the night together, get into some conversation, and then I send them inside, drink in hand, happy, go lucky, and they get to sit back, relax, and watch the show. That is my ultimate goal. I think it's perfect. I think it's great. And obviously, in terms of me, I wouldn't be making a drink every time for myself. I would obviously make it once, and then once people come, I'd make it for them throughout. So then they would be able to scrump or dump it. And, you know, from there, I ask them all the questions. So that is what I want the show to be. So you heard it here first. One day we'll get there. Not sure when, but I also have always said to myself, one day I'll be on the red carpet and go to these events, and I'm already kind of accomplishing those dreams, as crazy as it is. And I'd never cared how I got there. I don't have to be in front of the camera half the time. Like the fact that I've been able to just be behind the scenes, like say less. I'm honored with all these opportunities that I've gotten to work these events. And again, Dana, big shout out to you. Thank you so much for letting me work these events, because it's just been an absolute dream come true, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So those are just a couple things that have been super exciting for me. And also, as you can see from my shirt, I recently just went to SNL. I saw the episode with Bill Burr hosting and McGee as the musical guest. Let me tell you, this also, I've always wanted to go to SNL. I've been dying to see the show. The fact that me and my friend Kim even got tickets is amazing. I'm so excited we got to go. It truly was the coolest production I've ever seen. The way things work in there. It's a very fast-paced show. Sets are constantly moving. And once it's like commercial break, right after, you know, every skit, they're running. Like, people are running around, getting ready for the next one, and they come back out, they do the skit, they run back, change for the next one. It's quick. It's very, very quick. I mean, the show, when you watch it live, is from 11:30 to 1. So you're there a really long time. And Kim and I had the best time. It truly was just the coolest production I've ever seen. I was able to talk to the person next to me. She's seen the show so many times, she told me, and she pointed out all these cool stuff and was telling me all these fun facts about the studio. It actually used to be a radio studio, and it's basically soundproof on the inside because, you know, they're worried about all the noise and everything from the streets and such. So it's pretty much soundproof in there. And the facts she was telling me were just crazy. She even pointed out to me sometimes to where the producer sits and where, you know, the cast member's family could sit from where we were sitting. She was pointing everything out to me. It was just so cool. I mean, I just loved every second of it. I've always wanted to see the show, and there's a lot of good that has happened to me this year, and I'm so grateful. I feel like I'm accomplishing a lot of my goals and my dreams in my life, and I'm just very happy that they're coming true. So I thank you to whoever's watching over me and is making that happen, because it's truly been a blessing for me. And with all of the good, there has been some tragedy in my life this year, and I unfortunately lost my Nona. She was my best friend, and I feel like she's with me every step of the way as I have these experiences. So in today's episode, I'm going to dedicate this to my Nona, because I feel like she's with me as I travel and make my dreams come true, and I'm just hoping I'm making her proud. And my family as well, as always, but I really hope I'm making her and all my loved ones that I have lost proud. So this episode's dedicated to her because I'm actually filming it today on her birthday, and I really miss her today. She's my absolute best friend, and it won't come out on her birthday, it'll come out the next day, but I'm filming it right now on her birthday, and I just really miss her, and I know she would be really proud of me. So, Nona, this episode's for you. Your grandson's accomplishing a lot, and I would just love to be able to share these moments with you. And that's our show, everyone. So, thank you so much for listening. I'm really glad I'm able to take you all on this journey with me from start to finish. Those of you who are with me through it all, like, it really means a lot to me. I'm so grateful for you all tuning in every single week. I appreciate all the love and support, as I always do. Shout out, as always, to my family, my sisters, my brothers, my poos, my creative directors. I love you guys with all my heart. And shout out to the rock stars who always tune in for every single episode. Without you guys, I couldn't be able to do this. So I love you guys so much. Tune in every week for an episode of Rocco on the Rocks. And don't forget, guys, we have a website. You can submit a rock bottom story. I'm going to be starting that segment soon. So please submit any fun going out story that you have that's embarrassing, hilarious, just downright rock bottom, even if you want, or if you just want to get something off your chest, please share it. I will share it on the show. I want this to be a fun community for everyone. I want you all to come to the show to escape whatever you're going through during the day and just be able to sit back, relax, and have a drink with me. I just want to connect with everyone. Again, follow our socials on Instagram, Rocco.ontherocks. Follow this on YouTube at Rocco on the Rocks. Like and subscribe. Remember, rock stars, always be your best self. Do not forget to smile. Life's what you make it, so let's make it rock. Everyone, have a great week. I will see you all very soon. Bye.